Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we're taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. The reason I wanted to do this is because I know there are a lot of shifts going on right now. There's a lot of energies shifting. People that were once super connected, let's just say in the higher realms, are connected into their roots and vice versa. People that were very focused on the physical are connecting to spirit. There almost feels like there's a flip, and I feel like it's also mirroring in terms of like media and things that we see on TV and music and everything like that, like new artists coming out. There's just so much, there's a lot going on. The way I'm looking at it energetically, I'm thinking of like the tectonic plates that are moving. So I really wanted to bring some guidance there in terms of what's next on your journey spiritually, because I know sometimes when we are falling into a different vibration or if we're called into a different energy, we can kind of get a little confused, especially if we were used to maybe grounded in a certain way or connected in a certain way, and that starts to shift. We can kind of get really confused and like, was what I was doing before wrong, or what is what I'm doing now wrong? So I wanted to bring some guidance there, because everything's always moving, energy is always moving, we are constantly ever changing, just like the seasons, and there's nothing to worry about in terms of shifting and, you know, energy evolving. That's the point. We move in cycles. So I wanted to bring guidance there. So I have 4 crystals for you guys to choose from. On the left we have the white howlite. The second pile here is lapis lazuli. The third pile is pyrite, and the fourth pile on the right is clear quartz. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamps. Hey Pawan, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. So you guys chose the howlite. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 1, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Tap me into my highlight. Tap me into my howlite pile, please, spirit guides. Tap me into my howlite pile. We have Temperance. We have the Queen of Wands. Tap me into my howlite pile, please, spirit guides. What is next on pile number 1's spiritual journey? 8 of Cups. Pile number 1's, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1's. And then we have Strength. Okay. The back of the deck, you have the Hierophant. Okay, first thing that I'm being told is if you're really drawn to like getting certain things in order right now, I do feel like there's a reason for it. I don't know why. I feel like I'm very aware of the present. I almost feel like I'm being brought into the present, and there's like little things I'm doing that are kind of establishing foundations, if that makes sense. So if you know that like you've needed to save X amount of money, or if you know that like doing a certain course would get you somewhere, or if you know that you need to get your head down with something, or you've needed to purchase something, or you needed to like bide your time and energy to get somewhere, or maybe like focus on fitness, and maybe it's something that you haven't really had the energy to, or it's something that you haven't really, it hasn't been right in front of you, you've had other things that you've been working on. I feel like I'm filing through paperwork right now. I feel like I'm sorting taxes, I'm looking at documents, I'm getting a car, I'm getting a house, I'm doing all of these things. There's a lot of physical movement. I feel like there's things that I'm putting into order. I'm being shown somebody at a desk with like those little sticky notes and making sure that everything's where it needs to be. So right now, if you're feeling a little bit mundane, or you're being really called into the physical to do more, just nothing too spiritual, like just the most humanly things right now, or you're, I really need to pass this test, or I really need to, I don't know, pass the driving test, or pass this thing. It's like I'm making sure that I'm getting that sorted, but it almost feels like it's coming in rapidly. Like I feel like I really need to get this sorted. I feel like I need to get my head down. I feel like I need to get rooted. That's a phase that you're either in or stepping into, but it's not the end. This feels more like a transition, but I feel very focused in regards to what's in front of me. So don't be shocked, or don't be like, you know, a little bit like, oh my god, if little things show up that look like little upheavals over the next couple of months, because what I do feel is that you're in a transition, and I feel like there's little things where it's almost like tying up loose ends. So if your money was going somewhere it shouldn't have been going, where it could have been depleting your finances, maybe you were paying for something you didn't even realize you were still paying for, maybe you hadn't got, I'm being shown documents for some reason, so maybe you didn't have like documents sorted out, and that could have like cause chaos for you further down the line, but it's like coming up while it's still a little bit of a molehill instead of a mountain, so that you can kind of like deal with it there. Because I feel like my head's down, there's these little things coming up, but they're being shown to me so I can really tie these loose ends, you know what I mean? I can really put these things down. That can also happen energetically. While this is coming through more physically, I am being shown energy too. So as always, if little things are coming up from the past, little things are frustrating you, I thought I was done with that, that's what I just heard, that's fine. Just sit with it, allow it to pass through, because nothing here feels too heavy. Everything that I'm being shown, it literally feels like little bits of debris, and I don't even think for a lot of you it's going to be energetically. This does feel more physical. I feel like I'm more focused in the physical and getting things sorted, but those of you that does relate to in terms of energy and situations coming up from your past and feelings, allow yourself to pass them through. Everything feels like they're sprinkles. They literally feel like they're little things that are just coming up that I need to deal with. So, you know, like sometimes when you're super connected with spirit and you're tapping into the bigger things, the deeper things, and those little things don't really mean much to you, but then there comes a time where we've also got to deal with those little things too. That's what I feel that is going to be happening, like little sprinkle bits as you're going through this transition. Think of it like you're wrapping up a cycle, because that's what I'm being shown. And I do feel, I don't know why, if you're watching this when I put it up, October feels like a big month, like a highlighted month, but this could be just at one point over the next couple of months. It doesn't have to be the exact time zone I'm being shown, but what I'm being shown is after a couple of months, you know, when you feel like you've ended a cycle and you have that kind of like epiphany and you feel very full and you're just like, I'm open to anything, like I feel like I know everything, I feel really full of light, like I feel like I have no obligations, like everything's in the right order, I feel really light. I see you reaching a point like that of resolute, you know, so that's what I'm being shown. There's somewhat of a transition that I feel like you've kind of maybe been in. I feel like you're coming to the end of that transition, if that makes sense. So you're starting to get your feet on the ground, which would make sense with the feet going on the ground, why I was being shown something a bit more physical. Now, when I see the feet touching down, because I'm being shown the feet finally getting to the ground, I've literally been shown somebody, and if you've watched people that like paraglide, and then when they come back onto the beach, they don't just like hit the ground like flowy, they kind of bounce. I'm just thinking of my dad years ago when we were in Tunisia, and he had his phone and his keys and stuff in his pocket, and instead of just landing on his feet, he went straight into the water and bouncing, and his phone and everything went in the sea. I just got shown that mental image of that. So yeah, I'm being shown the feet going down onto the ground. That's where I see, tap me more into that energy, because this is where I feel like I'm cooking, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm really cooking now. Tap me more into that, please, spirit guides. What comes after that? Because I'm being shown two different phases, but it's because you're coming out of one right now. Something's ending. So what's happening when the feet touch the ground? I don't know why I feel like I'm sprinting towards something. Like I have an idea in mind and I'm sprinting. I don't know if you've had like a specific idea in mind of something that you wanted to get done. And this feels like something that wouldn't be able to come in over like a month. This is something that you'd have to get your head down and work with. But I feel like I'm full of energy. I feel really like I've got a buzz on me. Like I feel like I'm full of energy, and I'm seeing something like, let's just say I'm seeing like a crown hovering in the distance, and I'm in a jungle. It's like head down, and I'm like gunning for it. Like I'm running towards something. I have a lot of energy. So I don't know if you guys are not knowing what the next step is for you, or you're not knowing where you want to go next, or you're struggling to get the energy or the ammunition to run after like a certain goal. This goal feels like something significant that would shake up your life a bit, but like in a good way. It's something you're wanting. Could even be just you entering that new paradigm of like, this is the life that I want. Again, it could be career, business, but it's something that could definitely shake up, and it's something in the physical I'd really have to work for. So I feel like I think that's why there would have been a focus in the physical and the present and getting things sorted, because I feel like I feel this ammunition. So if you've been feeling stuck and you haven't really known the way forward, you know you want the crown on top of the mountain, but you have no idea how to get there. This is where I start to see, I don't know why, there's a big like expansion in, I guess it feels like the solar plexus, because I feel it was never about how I was going to get there, because I'm just going to like run towards it anyway. It was my belief that I actually could. And when I keep being shown like an expansion here, like I feel like something's come back to me. So maybe you guys have been clearing in terms of like old wounds to do with like your worthiness. And you're in a confidence and stuff like that, because I feel like I've got something in my hand that's just kind of come back to me. I've cleared something and it's come back to me, because I see an expansion there, and it's like there's this, but like, I don't know why, I just feel like I believe, like I'm being shown Tinkerbell from not Harry Potter, from Peter Pan, and they're like, I do believe in fairies, and then their belief in Tinkerbell like keeps her alive. I'm being shown that, so it's like I believe, so I'm hearing that Peter Pan music, and then I don't know why I just keep being shown like ideas coming to you, but these ideas, they're not coming. I'm gonna say this, sometimes like, yes, spirit help us and they give us messages and they give us guidance, and yes, tarot and these videos themselves can help us to a degree, but like, we're the key, we're the ones making the shift. And I feel like sometimes, and I feel like maybe you've been in a phase where you might have been more reliant on like connecting to spirit and spirit bringing the messages, and that's cool, but you were the one opening yourself to those messages. They could have fallen like, you know, away. You were the one that did that. You're the key. But also in terms of getting where you even are now, you did that. No one got you here. No one made you make those decisions. No one made you clear whatever it was that needed to be cleared. You did that yourself. So there's something about, doesn't matter how it's going to come in, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it. There's this expansion here. I feel like I'm realizing, I'm hearing Key to the Kingdom, that song from The Lion King. It's like I'm realizing I'm the key, you know what I mean? And I feel like, I literally feel like there's this expansion. I feel like I'm shining like the sun, and because of that, it's like I see a way, like I see a way forward, like I'm creating that way forward. I'm literally being shown like the pattern of the Red Sea. It's like I'm creating that way forward. I'm doing it. There's no book on how to get there. I'm doing it. So that these ideas that I feel are going to come, because I see you feeling really inspired, and I feel you running towards this idea or whatever it is that you're wanting to bring in. I see you running towards it. Yes, I do feel there are going to be downloads and intuitive nudges that you're going to get, but I feel like there's something you're learning about, like, I'm the one who did that. I'm the one that was the key. I'm the one that brought myself here, and I'm going to get myself there. There's something in terms of that I feel that is going to kind of like create an expansion in your energy, if that makes sense. What's going to trigger that, please, spirit guides? What's going to trigger that? I literally feel like I'm sat around my old mess, like, let's just say like my old bedroom, you know what I mean, and the same wallpaper on the walls or whatever, and it represents an old era. I've staged it because it's comfortable. I'm enjoying it. It's comfortable. But like, I don't know why, I don't know what's triggering it, but I just see like a feeling where you guys are like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this now. I'm ready to put my energy into this now. I'm ready to run forward now. And I see like some sort of switch, because I feel like I'm pulling, you know, the wallpaper off. I feel like I'm getting rid of old things. I feel like I'm clearing it out. I don't want the past anymore. I don't want these old things anymore. I don't want, you know, to think back to these certain things. It's like, I don't want to do it anymore. And I just see that kind of like happening. But there's something that gets you there, where I feel like you're rooting in and very focused in the present. You know how I always say rest, rest, rest? I would definitely say to make sure that you're preserving your energy and you're not giving too much of yourself out, because there's a reference of like resting because it's like there's something cooking sort of thing. But really focusing and tying loose ends right now. That's where I feel like you are. That's the phase I see you being in over the next couple of months. There's like a resolute where I'm tying loose ends. You may feel the urge to like clear out things. You know, if you have makeup, clear out all makeup, clear out old music playlists, clear out old skincare, you know, photographs on your phone that you don't care for anymore. Like, I feel like I'm clearing things out. I'm getting things out of my hair. You know what I mean? To create that, like, feeling. And it's like, okay, now that everything's here and centered, now I'm ready to go. And that's why I see you running and there's that expansion. So I do feel like, if you're watching this when I put it up, towards the end of the year, so I would say the Christmas period, November, December, and then into early next year, I do see your head being pretty down, and I see goals being reached. That's what I'm being shown, because I'm being shown somebody running through the jungle and it's like hanging off a vine is like a key and I grab that, you know. It's like I'm being shown like a game where someone's in a jungle, you know, like Temple Run. Do you remember Temple Run from back in the day? If you didn't, it's basically just a guy running forward, just running, and he collects coins and he jumps over things, and there's a gorilla chasing him behind him. But that's why I'm being shown Temple Run, like somebody just running and jumping and getting the coins. Yeah, so I do feel if you've been getting for a while rest, it's because of the period I see you entering at the end of the year. But this isn't like I'm exerting my energy and I'm exhausted. It's like I have the ammunition, I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready. Like, that's how I feel. I'm being shown, you know when they do like racing and they have the black and white flags they wave? Yeah, I'm being shown that being waved, like, go. Pile number one's next spiritual journey. Please, spirit guides, pile number one's next spiritual journey. We have seashell. Let your guard down. What are you protecting yourself from? Yeah, if you've been in your shell and you've been kind of recalibrating, or maybe you've just been more focused on like the energetic side, so doing inner work, maybe the emotional side, purging out, there is going to be a switch up. I feel like we're done with that for now. Like, we've completed that cycle. There's very much I'm in the physical. I don't know if you guys have the animal oracle card. It's like the green cards with pictures of animals. There's one on there that I'm being shown in my mind's eye. It's of a fox. I'm sure it's a fox. And it says, think on your feet. And I'm being shown that. I'm being shown that visual in my mind's eye. Because I feel like I'm very much in my body. I'm very much focused on the present. So if you, I would say if you're not feeling called to, you know, be channeling, you know, bringing in big celestial energies right now, if you're not being called to like do, you know, when people connect with spirit and they have all these practices, if you're not feeling called to like every full moon be doing, you know, all those things, don't tie yourself to it. Allow your energy to flow, because listening to yourself, you're going to know what's right for you in different phases, you know. There's definitely this shift taken up, like, you know, coming on, and just listen to what you need, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that what you were doing before is wrong. It just means that you needed that in that time period. Just like, you know, you, like the tree, the branches were growing, but now we need to go down to the roots. Like a plant, we don't water it constantly, we also give it sunlight, we also give it just time to grow. We, you know, we go through those phases, you know, the seasons change. So don't force yourself or feel like I'm not connecting with spirit as much or whatever it is. It could be that there's a new way to connect with spirit now. There could be a new way that you're learning to connect with spirit if there's been a struggle there. I'm only saying it for you guys because I feel like I'm really rooting, and I know that can be a bit of a struggle sometimes when you're used to being so open and, you know, following your intuition like that. You're still going to be following your intuition, but in it maybe in a different way. So allow yourself to learn, you know, that new walk, if that makes sense. We have sunken ship. Your past does not have to define your future. Yeah, there's something from the past that I see you really openly, like, I feel happy. I feel like I've come to a resolute, and it's like, it's time. I'm just gonna let it go now, but I feel happy about it. Like, I feel like, okay, it's time to go. you know what I mean? It's over. Like, I've cleared this. There's nothing left to really go over. And I'm ready to leave this in the past. For some of you guys, that could be a person. But for the others of you, it could just be like a time period, maybe you just think back to. But yeah, I feel like there's this kind of like resolute that I'm being shown. Okay, pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. We have sandcastle. It's only temporary. If you guys have been struggling or just feeling friction right now, bear with. Just bear with. That's the first thing that I'm being told. Just bear with. And if really all you can deal with is like, I just want to chill out today, and you know, if I'm gonna do one thing, I'm gonna like maybe take myself to the gym. Cool, do that. You're focusing on the present, you're letting your energy rest. That's cool. All I really want to do today is you know, or like this month my goal is to pass this test, so I'm just gonna revise, and that's just gonna be my only thing. And I know people want me to go out and do this and that and my energy to be everywhere, but I haven't got the time. I just want to be focused on this. Just allow that and just really take it day by day and really listen to your body right now, because when these shakeups are happening, your transition was being shown in this pile. It wasn't just like, this is the phase you're entering, this is next. I was being shown a literal transition. Transitions are uncomfortable and they can be confusing. They can be. So just don't force anything. Just allow everything to flow, and just make way for any emotions that want to come through, and just one by one, slowly just put these little things in order and focus on that. That's what I'm being told. And the back of the deck, you have hibiscus. Enjoy each moment to the fullest. I don't know if maybe in the past some of you guys might have like escaped. So it could have just been like daydreaming, being in the higher chakras, you know, in another realm, connecting there. Or maybe it was a case of in my mind, when I'm in my shell, I'm in my safe space. And I create that kind of like heaven in my safe space. I feel like you're moving into a phase where you are going to create that safe space in this realm on earth, in your physical body, and you're going to create a reality. And I think this is where you're moving. I think you're creating a reality you don't have to escape from, which is really beautiful. But to do that, you know, we have to teach our physical body and, you know, all of that, the present moment. It's okay to be here, we're safe, you know. And I think that's might be what you're doing. And there might be something that you focus on in that next era as well, to do with the physical body. That's what I'm being shown as well. I'm not being told too much about it, but I feel like you'll be drawn, or you'll know where you're going with that. But yeah, that is what I'm being shown. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you enjoyed. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. So you guys chose the lapis lazuli. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s, my lapis lazuli pile. Pile number 2s, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2s. What is next on pile number 2, spiritual journey? We have the 3 of Cups. What is next on pile number 2's spiritual journey? What is next on pile number 2's spiritual journey? Pile number 2, spiritual journey, please, spirit guides. We have the 2 of Wands. Pile number 2's spiritual journey. What is next on pile number 2's spiritual journey? 6 of Wands. Pile number 2, and we have strength. Okay. Back of the deck, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. This is for those of you that have been connecting with spirit for some time, or you've been really connecting to your spiritual gifts, because I'm being shown like somebody flexing their muscles. So in terms of like the higher chakras, like you guys have been working with them for some time. Maybe you've been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work. Maybe some of you guys have been like learning certain things like tarot, or learning astrology, or learning whatever it is. I feel like, okay, what I'm being shown is, imagine, I want to put it into words that'll make sense for you, so I'm trying to get the feeling into words. Imagine the energy that, you know, we're all in the cycles we're all moving. We're all like wheels. Imagine us all like a big round circle. I know that sounds really weird. We're all like these little circles that make up this big circle. These circles are always shifting, they're always changing, right? Like I said in the intro. So these circles are moving, and they'll move around. They're not just going to stay in one place, they're going to move around. So when those circles move into a different energy, there's an empty piece of space, if that makes sense. There's like a void piece of space. Like when we cleanse and we clear something from our energy, there's a void. There's a pocket of energy that is empty. So whenever there's a pocket of energy that is empty, something else comes in and takes its place, right? You guys, I feel, have been learning something. It's coming through really strongly. If you haven't been learning or doing inner work or something like that and connecting to spirit behind the scenes or whatever it is, this might not be your pile. Because whatever it is, I feel like I've learned something, I've gained enough knowledge, or I'm like holding a certain medicine that I have, you know, used on myself. I've built myself up, and now it's time for me to share that with other people. That's where I'm being taken to. So I keep being shown like a pocket of energy now that is like void or empty. People have moved out of that space, and you're to fit into that void energy, and I see that calling from you. So it's like I've been in the student seat, you know, for however long, and yes, okay, we're all in the student seat in terms of a spiritual practice or whatever. We're constantly learning, but there's something you already have the medicine to. There's something you have knowledge of. There's something that like could be shared with other people that like has been perfected or you've worked on. What I'm being shown here with you guys, there's something that needs to come out now that people can gain from, benefit from. People need to see your medicine or see how you made your own medicine, so other people can use that too. I hope that makes sense. There's a level of knowledge that I feel that you have, that I feel like I almost want to put out there. I need to stamp that out. We've got the Queen of Pentacles at the back of the deck. This is something you've been working on. This is something now that people need to hear or see or read, whatever it is. If you've been thinking of starting a blog, if you've been thinking of, you know, writing a book, if you've been thinking of offering services, maybe you've learned astrology and been doing this for so long, maybe you've done it, you know, done readings and read people's charts, you know, in your area, but you haven't really maybe brought that online or brought that out into the public. I feel you're being called to do that, because I feel not only are you taking it in, you're stepping into where there was a void space, but I also feel that I'm being shown like energy coming out of me. So there's like an extroverted energy here. So it's like it's trickling from me to the next person. I'm being shown the song Bigger by Beyonce, and she literally sings what is she everyone around her creates like the tree of life in the video, and she basically sings like, I breathe into you, you breathe into me, and I can't remember the exact lyrics, sometimes I forget, but she was basically talking about how like whatever I learn or whatever I gain or whatever it is that happens to me, it passes on to like my descendants, like it flows through me. So there's something there may be like a message for you in the song Bigger by Beyonce, so I'm just going to put that there if you want to listen to it. But I feel like I'm bringing messages through for other people, or there's a piece of guidance, or there's something that I've gained that people need to see, whether it's a frequency, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Maybe I want to start like a blog channel or making TikToks or whatever it is, or maybe I want to put pen to paper and write about what I've been going through or what I've learned or what I've gained. Maybe I want to make music about it. Maybe I want to create jewelry. Maybe like behind the scenes I've been doing my own like botanica and I've been mixing like oils or whatever, and now I know that that can help other people. Whatever it is, I feel like there's something that needs to be seen or something that needs to be heard, and that's where I feel like I'm being taken to. And I feel like there's people around you as well, so it's like there's more than just whenever I see people around people, it's either like clients, like souls that you're working with, because it can even be that like it's not necessarily like clients in terms of the physical. Like you could have learned how to clear land, clear energy, clear entities, and now souls may be coming to you, or you may be called to like help souls cross over or clear people's homes or do anything like that. The clients may not be physical, I'm being told, but whatever the case, I feel like there's something that needs to come out or something that needs to be birthed. I literally feel like I'm about to birth something, because I'm thinking of, I remember Janae Aiko, she's a singer, if you don't know who she is, and she was talking on her website about dropping her album called Trip, which was all the way back in 2017, and she was basically saying like it feels like a literal birth. Like whenever I put out an album, it's like the end of an era, so it's like I'm birthing what I've learned, like because I've obviously put pen to paper and created these songs, I'm birthing it out, and that's really what I'm being shown, is that like I'm being shown the Empress in my mind's eye. Like I feel like I'm birthing something out. There's something people need to hear, something people need to see, something that people could gain from, something that I could guide people with. So whatever it is, if you've been wondering, is it time to step out yet? Is it time to get that out there yet? I do feel that the answer is yes. And if you guys have maybe even been thinking, I really want to do this course, or I really want to do this and add to whatever it is that you already know, the answer is also yes. I feel like anything where you can gain knowledge or bring out the knowledge that you already have within you and pass that on, I feel like that would be really, really helpful for you guys. It's 11:33, so 1133 on the clock, if those are synchronicities people have been seeing. But yeah, that's literally how it's coming through. It's coming through very point blank. I'm not being called to go any deeper than that. I just kind of feel like it's time. I'm being shown, if you've seen SpongeBob, he had to write like an essay or something like that, and he like writes there, but he does it like all colorful and like creative, and like he just literally writes there on like the page. I don't know, it's just funny. I might not be explaining it properly, but it was just really funny when I saw it. But yeah, I just keep being shown somebody pen to paper, and it's like, okay, let's begin, sort of thing. Or like, I need to get this out there, or I need to start something and kind of be seen. I would definitely say to be seen. You have the Six of Wands and Strength. I do feel like there's knowledge, or there's something here that you've gained that I feel other people could definitely like benefit from if you want to get it out there. That's if you want to. And especially as well, with the lapis lazuli, what was I gonna say? Sorry, something came through and I was like, wait, what? Yeah, especially with the lapis lazuli, like I'm thinking of like the Egyptian energy, and from what I've seen when I've done Akashic readings and like personal readings, and even connecting with, you know, past lives and stuff like that, I'm always shown like the pyramids, like not just the Egyptian pyramids, but any of the pyramids anywhere around the world, and people kind of sitting and gaining knowledge and bringing through that knowledge. And when you think of like the hieroglyphs, and then put in the emerald tablet, and then put in that wisdom into the concrete for other people to see, I feel like that is what I'm being shown. Like you've gained wisdom, you've brought through wisdom, and it's now meant to be out there. It's meant to be seen or heard. So yeah, this reading's more like a go ahead of that. I'm not being called to go too much deeper, so I'm going to leave that bit there. I'm going to pull on your oracle cards now. But yeah, I think it's time for you to be seen, or it's time for you to be put in spaces where the medicine that you've found and created can be, you know, it can help other people, and it can also help other people make their own medicine, you know. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What's next on pile number 2? Spiritual journey. Yeah, some of you are definitely being seen, or you're stepping into some sort of teaching role, like an author. Energy's coming from me into something. We have trust your instincts, the starfish. I'm just gonna pull 2 more cards. We have sandcastle, it's only temporary. Pile number, we have seashell, let your guard down. What are you protecting yourself from? 2 of these cards came out in the last reading, which is quite interesting. When we have Pia on the back of the deck, do not fear the unknown, find serenity in the uncertain. Yeah, I feel like you're kind of about to leap. I feel like you're kind of about to jump towards a specific goal, or you're being placed into an energy where you can be seen or heard. So if you're thinking of starting something, or you're wanting to get that energy out there, give it a go. Maybe shake it up, try different things at first, but I do feel like you're being placed into a position to help others. That's what I feel. Yeah, so we have the starfish, trust your instincts. Why do we have trust your... I keep being shown like an intuitive nudge to do something, or I know that I'm meant to be somewhere, but then it's like, oh, I don't know. I don't see anything necessarily holding you back. you're being called to leap and the net will appear. You're being called to just take a risk or take like a jump. Whether it's like content you're putting out or starting to write a book or look into it. Sometimes like we learn on the way. Sometimes we start something and we have no idea how it's going to end, and then we like learn on the way. Like even when I started this channel, it wasn't even supposed to be like a pick a card channel really. I was just like, I'm gonna just start to talk and do whatever. I know I want to do pick a cards, but whatever I align with. And I guess because I started doing that and aligning with that, Spirit really called me to step into that more channeling mode and bring messages through with my pick a cards. And that's why I followed that calling, because it felt right. And you know, I tried out other things to see what, because I'd learned astrology, I'd learned numerology, and it was like, what do I need to put out there? And I guess my channeling gifts and the clearing that I'd done to get them open, I guess energetically it was like, this is the best path right now. This is where you can aid people better, you know. And it ended up being a pick a card channel when that wasn't, first of all, really the goal, you know what I mean? I knew I wanted to do pick a cards, but it wasn't the main thing. So I'm saying that in the sense of like, chuck darts at a wall and see what sticks. Especially if you know you're meant to hit the wall, but you don't know, you know, which dart you're meant to be. Just chuck them at and see which one flows, because I feel like the more you try different things out, maybe you'll try like a different company for like a book, or you want to make a tarot deck, or you want to start certain services, or you want to start on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever it is. Try and see what works for you, because everybody has their own niche. And I always feel like there's a plan in terms of energy of where we're meant to go, like where our energy fits, we get called where we're meant to go, you know. So just allow everything to unfold, and don't worry too much about the finer details. They'll come, because they always do in time. Why do we have Sandcastle? It's only temporary. Why do we have that card? Please, spirit guides. If you hear noises, it's Vader. That's Vader meowing. Why do we have Sandcastle? Please, spirit guides. Well, I'm hearing Beyonce. Remember those walls I built? Well, baby, they're tumbling down. Yeah, I literally feel like I'm with it next to the shell as well. I feel like I'm letting my guard down with this card. I feel like I'm letting my guard down and I'm ready to be seen, or I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to just put this out, like this diamond that I've like found and I've been like polishing off. It's like, it's time. So there's something about breaking through something. It doesn't feel like I'm clearing anything to get here. I feel ready to put anything out there. I feel like I need to break through something. I need to kind of smash through it. I need to jump through something. I don't know what that is. If you've been having like fears, but I tend to find like the less you think of something and you just like put it out there and jump out there, I tend to find the more you smash through it, you don't even think about it. Think of like when you've had like a really important test, you know what I mean, whether it was in school or you had your driving test. Think about like the anxiety you had beforehand, but then when you finally like got to the test, or you got in the car or whatever it was, like the anxiety went. Like you were just like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing it, and it just kind of went, you know. That's what I'm being shown with these two cards, because I kept hearing Beyonce's song, Baby Those Walls I Built, Baby They're Tumbling Down. Some of you guys may like Beyonce, she's come through twice. But yeah, pile 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. So you guys chose the pyrite. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. What is next on pile number 3's spiritual journey, please? What is next on pile number 3's spiritual journey? We have the 3 of Swords. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3, we have the 3 of Wands. Some of you guys may be seeing 333. Those numbers a lot. Pile number 3, oh god. We have the Star. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. The back of the deck, you guys have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, that's quite interesting. 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands, the Star, the Five of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles reverse. What's next on pile number 3's spiritual journey, please? Literally what I'm feeling, I feel like I feel like my lower half of my body is in rock. Like, I feel like the lower half of my body is like stuck in the mud, and I'm stepping out of that, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like something that has been my reality for some time, or something that's kept me stuck, something that's, I'm seeing a lot of purging. Like, I see you guys like crying or releasing something that would have kept you in that energy for some time, or kept you feeling less than, or kept you feeling, I'm hearing, unloved as well. There's something being purged out and cleared. That's what I'm being shown, and I see a rebirth there. That's what I'm being shown. So I don't know if you guys have been doing some inner work recently. That's something you've been doing like over the past couple of months, or recently you've been, you know, really being called to do that, because it does feel like there's a level of shadow work being done here, and that's what's kind of like taking over the reading. But there's something that I'm clearing, so it's like my energy's becoming lighter, if that makes sense, with the Star card being slap bang there in the middle. Like, I feel like I'm letting go of like an old reality and the old way that I looked at something. I'm being shown somebody with like glasses on, and they're kind of like smudged, they're kind of like smoky, I can't even see. You know when you get out of a shower and like you have put your glasses on straight away and then they like fog up? There's something that I was looking at that was very fogged, and I literally feel like I'm clearing that out. I'm letting, you know, I'm getting rid of it. So that's what I'm being shown. Now I know for some of you guys, you might not want to hear in terms of like the shadow work and the clearing, but that's what is coming through right now in terms of the next couple of months. There's something within the heart space, there's something that's being yanked out. I feel like I'm left out in the cold, so I don't know if it's to do with like abandonment wounds. I don't know if it's to do with like if somebody's hurt you recently. It could have been recently somebody's like walked away from you or hurt you or ghosted you, but I literally feel like that's what I'm dealing with, where I feel abandoned, or I feel like somebody's taken something from me, or somebody's pulled, I don't know what my cats are doing. I feel like somebody has pulled like taken a piece of me, and I kind of feel like I'm retrieving that, but I'm retrieving it through really purging out and feeling any feelings that's here, because I feel like there's triggers that I'm aware of. It was 333 again then, when I looked at the timer. I don't know if there's like there's, because with a 333, sorry, it just took over me then. 3 is connected to Jupiter in numerology, so that's like expansion. So there's something here, even with the Star card, there's something that you're aligning with, or something maybe you've manifested and you're trying to align with, like a paradigm. There's something that you like, I feel like you're jumping somewhere when your energy is clear, specifically in the heart space. I feel like my energy is very open and very clear. And I'm being shown like love from the heart space, like the heart chakra, and I feel very open. So it's like, because I'm aligning with that, all of this fog is being pushed up. You know what I mean? It's being pushed up out of my heart space, and I'm having to look at it. And there's things there that I wouldn't necessarily, you know, there's a reason it's repressed. You know what I mean? When we don't want to deal with heavy emotions, or we struggle to deal with heavy emotions, or they happen when they're younger, like we get triggered, or we feel a feeling of abandonment or unloved when we're younger, that will, you know, trigger us. We don't know how to deal with it. Of course we don't, we're young, and it will naturally then become repressed until we're ready to deal with it. It gets repressed in the subconscious. There's something that's flicked a switch where you've aligned with something where it's like, this doesn't resonate anymore. If this is what I'm aligning with and this is what's coming in, what is in the subconscious is not aligning. It needs to be brought out, because, you know, lately there's been like loads of like shark attacks, like sharks have been coming to shallow waters. I'm being shown that in my mind's eye. So like, wounds are things you weren't even aware of in the subconscious, like coming up to the surface. Not because it's like, oh, you're gonna be doing this, or you're gonna be in like darkness or whatever it is. Not because of that. When that happens, they're literally coming up to our conscious mind because we've done the work, or we've aligned with something different, and it's like, okay, I need to feel into this and allow it to pass. This is something that's been repressed in my energy, and maybe it's been manifest in the same type of situations where I've had connections that haven't put into me, or I felt that feeling unloved or abandoned or unworthy. And now what it actually was, it's coming into my face, so I can really look it in the eye and I can really feel it out. And that's what I see you dealing with over the next couple of months. I keep being shown November as a highlight, so that could be like a cycle till November. November could be where something like you got like an aha moment. But the reason that you're doing that, the reason that you're doing, because this is shadow work literally, the reason that you're doing that and you're dealing with these feelings is so that they can pass through, and that's where that expansion is coming in. That's why I was being shown the 333, and the reading leads with 2 3s, because we're expanding. But to expand, we have to get rid of that baggage. It no longer aligns with us, and how we get out of that is through it. We have to really face it. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but honestly, that's how we get, you know, to a new energy. That's how we tap into a new frequency. We have to really look at where those old frequencies are and those old thoughts and emotions, and we really need to accept and understand them and clear through them. They need to be passed through, you know. So that's what I see you guys doing, and I do feel like that's a phase you're going to be in over the next couple of months, where I just see there's something coming up. It's to do with the heart space, especially with the 2 hearts here on the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Wands. Sorry, I just knocked that. It's to do with the heart chakra. There's a wound coming out in terms of the heart chakra. I will take a look up, you know, see if there's any guidance in terms of that, if there's anything I can bring through in terms of guidance. Can you get me deeper? Because that's the only thing that's showing to me. Like, so I don't think it's like this huge shadow phase. I feel like it's something coming up. I don't feel like it's a shadow phase. I don't feel like it's a, you know, this really long period where you're like going through an ego death and dealing with all of the subconscious wounds. This feels very directed to the heart space. And this would only be happening if you would have aligned with like an expansion there to bring in new love, or to manifest new love, or to just be open in that area and get rid of anything that was like holding you back there. Feels like it's connected to the heart. Can you give me any guidance in terms of what this phase is about, please, in terms of the heart space? Is there any guidance in terms of what's being purged out? Sometimes just knowing what it is can help, you know. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Can I have some guidance, please, on this heart energy? Queen of Swords. I feel like I'm biting back. I feel like I'm like, I've given and given and given and given and given. I'm ready to receive. That's kind of like how I feel. 9 of Cups. Like I kind of feel like I'm stepping into, I'm going after what's mine sort of thing. And I'm feeling very rightful like feelings that I didn't deal with in the past. Maybe I was taught not to. The Emperor cards here with the 6 of Wands. So that could be repressed anger. Could be, sometimes we hold on to resentment, but we don't think that we do, because we'll repress that feeling and then we'll be like, oh, it's okay, I forgive you, or it's fine, you know, and you hold on to those higher emotions and higher frequencies, because it's like we're taught that those feelings are good, but the other feelings are bad. But anger is a good emotion. It shows us when we're being disrespected, and anger can be very powerful, especially if you learn how to control it, because you can transmute it, and it's a normal emotion to have. It's not something to be repressed. So I feel like you may be dealing with like, I didn't deserve that, like this shouldn't have happened to me. Do you know what it feels? It feels more anger than anything else that I'm tapping into. I feel like, why would you even do that? Why would you treat me like that? There's like that resentment, that anger. And especially if some of you guys have been struggling to cut somebody out of your energy, or you've been thinking back to a certain time period, and it's like, I don't even want that person anymore. I'm not even connected to that person anymore. Emotionally, I don't understand it, but there's still like a there. It could be like the anger, frustration. That's what could be, you know, there in the subconscious. And that could be the purge that's coming through. That could be the clearing. I feel like I'm dealing with anger and frustration. Who the hell are you to do that to me? You know, I'm sick of overgiving. Like it's coming out of the heart space because it's been repressed there. And I feel like then you've just tapped more into the frequency of like maybe forgiveness, and that's okay, and you know, moving on. But I feel like there are repressed energies in terms of things that may be a little bit more uncomfortable for you to feel. And that's maybe why you repressed them, or you were taught when you were young, you can't feel anger, you can't, you know, I'm stepping over your boundaries, there's nothing you could do about it. And it's something that you would have learned. And I feel like that you're dealing with it. It wouldn't shock me if you get called to work out a bit more over the next couple of months while you deal with maybe frustrations, because I'm being shown them turning into fire and being transmuted. So that's a good way to move energy out of our body. Think of like when animals are in the wild and they get scared or they get angry or whatever it is, they shake their body to get the anger off their body. we humans are not that different to animals in that aspect. When we move around, we work out, we shift our energy like that, it can allow the energy to come out of us. So I don't know why I feel like there's a bunged up bit of energy inside of me, and the more I'm working out or whatever it is that I'm doing, I feel like it's to do with the physical body. I feel like it's helping me get this energy out, you know what I mean? It's helping me transmute that energy and get it out. So you may be called to do that. Don't force it. Just if you're called to move about and get that out, I feel like that would be really helpful. Or even just voicing out frustrations through your, you know, your throat chakra. For some of you guys, I'm being told that might work better. So really saying it out loud, you know, F you, like whatever it is, just feel into them, let them out, because I do feel that's I feel like the phase you're actually in, it feels like an expansion in the heart space. So you may find that after this happens, there may be a little bit of respite, and then you may find that I feel very clear. That's where I feel like I'm going. I feel like I'm very clear in my heart space, and I feel like it wasn't like my intent in regards to what I was clearing, but I feel worthy. Like, I deserve this, I deserve that, these are my boundaries, and I'm gonna say this. I feel like something's clicked, and I'm like, I deserve this type of love, or I deserve this type of situation, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, I work hard for it, and I almost don't feel guilt. Before there would have been guilt, maybe I don't feel guilt about it anymore. So there's a clear space there where I see you maybe manifesting things in. There's something to do with manifestation that could have even triggered this, where it's like, I don't feel guilty, or I don't feel like I'm rejecting anything in regards to it being received, because I know that I deserve X, Y, and Z. I've done the work to have X, Y, and Z. That's what I'm being shown. There could have been like a blockage that began then with like resentment or frustration. It could have happened in childhood where you had needs, or there were things that you know, wanted, or it doesn't even have to be childhood. It could have been your teens, whatever relationship, maybe your first relationship, where you had desires or whatever it is that you wanted, you had needs, they weren't met, and then it was almost like your boundaries were walked over, and then it was like, that's where it started, you know what I mean? You had to push down the needs, and then there was like a frustration and an anger, but it's like, it's okay, you kind of like pushed it down. That's what's coming out, so that when you're like, these are my needs, this is what I'd like, there's that openness, and everything kind of like flows in. So I do think it's kind of what you're doing, the phase you're in right now, you're pulling out a thorn. It doesn't feel like a big phase, it feels like it's part of a greater whole in terms of an expansion in your heart space. But I feel like where you're at right now, I feel like you're dealing with like feelings that might be a bit uncomfortable, a lot of anger, frustration, I feel annoyed, those type of things. Feel into them, don't repress them, don't tell yourself that you're not meant to be feeling them, allow them to come out, welcome them, feel through them, they'll flow out. Again, there'll be a moment of respite where you may feel like you flatlined a little bit. Don't panic. Just don't panic, because whenever we clear something big like that, we kind of flatline in that area where we kind of feel a bit void. And like I always say, it's like the computer shutting down to restart. That's gonna happen, and then I feel you. I see you in your power. Really, is what I'm being shown. I'm being shown somebody in their power, and it's like, I know what's for me is meant for me. I trust that. These are my boundaries. Like whatever it is, like there's that coming through. And I don't see you then thinking of, if you've been thinking about something from the past, I don't see you thinking about it at all. If there's someone, this is only for those of you that have been thinking about someone, it's like, I don't know why I'm still thinking about you. That's where this is coming through from. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. What's next on pile number 3's spiritual journey, please? We have hibiscus, enjoy each moment to the fullest. We have mermaid, I'm gonna have to cover her up. I'll use pile 1's crystal for that. We have embrace change, transformation, and adaptability. One more card, please, spirit guides. Pile number, we have high tide, energy is rising, emotions are escalating. The back of the deck, you have sandcastle, it's only temporary. Yeah, this doesn't feel like it's a massive, this is what you're focusing on right now. It's like a layer of a phase, but I feel like the actual phase is like the heart chakra expansion, but there's like different levels to that, you know what I mean? We're clearing, and then we're gaining things, and then we're dealing with something else that's come up. Like it's one of those things, and I feel like that's what you're going to be feeling over the next couple of months, is those emotions. But like I said, it is genuinely only temporary, because they're coming into your awareness now, because it's like, oh, I'm allowed to feel these feelings. Oh, okay, here they are then. I've repressed them for some time. Thank you for allowing them to come out. Thank you for acknowledging me. Here's the anger. Here's the, I'm annoyed here. Like, here's all of that. Here's the shame. Here's the guilt. of receiving or asking for my boundaries, asking for my needs, and then you're just working through them. And I know sitting in it, it feels a bit more painful than just, you know, being told. But yeah, that's what I see is happening, but it's part of a phase. Okay, hibiscus, enjoy each moment to the fullest. I keep feeling with that card, like there's been moments where, like, let's say you've had like an offer given to you of like a relationship or like something you've wanted to align with in terms of like a manifestation, and then there's like guilt that I even asked for it. It's like, do I deserve this? So kind of like imposter syndrome. That's what I'm being shown is being cleared within this process. That's what I'm being shown. Because I feel like you're stepping into a phase where it's like, nope, this is for me and I know it is and I trust that it is, and, you know, I'm just opening up to this. There's not going to be that guilt. So it could even be guilt or like feeling, what you may be purging or releasing is feelings of like feeling less than. I don't know why they feel very indented with the feeling of anger. So I feel like they come together in a way, because I'm feeling anger, but then I feel guilt. Like I feel like I shouldn't be asking for this. I shouldn't be asking for that. I need to play small. I need to hide away. It's sneakily hidden to the point that I'm only now picking up on it. It's sneakily hidden behind the anger. So it's like I'm repressing, but I'm angry about it. But I feel, you know, I feel guilt that I'm even feeling angry, that I can't go after what I want. So it's like I'm pressing it down. It almost feels hidden by it. Like that guilt, there's like a shame element, so it's hiding. It's hiding. And I feel once you clear the anger and you feel that frustration, I feel like that's where it may reveal itself, because there's nowhere to hide then. So it's like that shame, that guilt. I feel like I want to hide away. I feel like I don't want people to hear me talk, or I don't want people to hear my needs. I feel shame for it. Like I want to hide it away. That's how I feel. And it's like it's running away from me type of thing. Like every time I'm trying to look at it, it's hiding. But that's something that you're going to deal with. What are the emotions that are going to come up with that? Show me a scenario or like emotions that are going to come up with that. It literally feels like it runs away when I try to tap into it. Like, why are you running? Like, why are you running though? What is that? Like, I keep feeling like, please, can I have this? Or can I ask for this? Or I would like to receive this back. Or these are my needs. And then it's like, so I feel like I'm waiting for somebody to yell at me and tell me how wrong and bad I am. I'm waiting for somebody to yell at me and be like, I cannot believe you just asked for that. God forbid you'd ask for that. And it's like me asking for a spoon. You know what I mean? For my soup. Like, it's just like I'm waiting for somebody to have a go at me. And then it like, I'll feel that shame of how bad of a person I am. But it's like, I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? It's like I'm waiting. I feel like I'm waiting for that person to yell or shout or think that I'm wrong or the worst person or I'm being malicious. And that's where these projections then are coming on to me. That's what it is. So how are we going to break out from that? I feel like we've just, now that I've caught the shame bit, I'm like, so how are they going to break out from it? How are they going to work through those feelings? I'm hearing, I said what I said. I feel, okay. There was somebody that sent me an email not long ago, and they basically said in the email about like, where, like, you know, when we want to align with something but we struggle to align with it in terms of like confidence or whatever it is. Let's just say confidence, right? Because this is kind of attached to that, you standing in your power, speaking up for yourself. And the person was explaining, like, in the email, you know when you wear a jumper and it's like a little bit too small for you, so you kind of like stretch it out, and you make it bigger so that, like, how do I make it make sense? It's a little bit too small, so you're stretching it so that when it finally falls back into place, it fits you right, but you have to really stretch it far first. So think of it like if you're aligning with standing up for yourself, this is who I am, I'm in my power. Tap into that to a really high degree for a moment. Like, act as if, even if you feel like you're playing a character or you're just playing a role, maybe you're being a bit too big for your boots, play into that energy for a sec, just so that you can stretch that energy out. So when it snaps back, it's more balanced, if that makes sense. Because I'm sure the person in the email said something about like, act like you're a celebrity for the day, or go to like a spa day, or go and do whatever and like act like you're a celebrity. And So, you know, you feel like, you know, like $1 million, and then it'll snap back into that level of confidence. So I feel like in terms of speaking up for yourself, shining out, here I am, these are my opinions, these are my needs. I don't like when you do that. Almost like getting into an energy, kind of like method acting, where you just do that for a day, or just do that for a little while. I feel like you're going to get used to that where you're shining out. And I feel like it's going to start to kind of click for you, if that makes sense. Because where you've stood in your power, or you've just been like, this is what I feel, this is what I'm drawn to, I feel like you've had people project back onto you. And then you've made yourself small, because it's like, well, I feel safe now, people aren't going to shout, or people aren't going to project. But now that I'm making myself small, I feel irritated and angry, because it isn't an energy I want to be in. That's where that anger is, you know? So when it comes to connections and relationships or whatever, I'm not speaking up for myself or stepping into my power or putting my needs down. They're then walking over me, and it's anger and resentment, but I'm pushing it down. I'm not dealing with it. And that's why the shame and the I'm going to be shouted at because I'm in the wrong, that's why it was hiding behind the anger. Because it was like, oh my God, no. I hope that makes sense. So I feel like you're going to deal with the anger first. And I feel like once the anger is dealt with, there's going to be feelings of like, I don't know if I should jump out. I don't know if I should jump out of this, you know, and speak my mind. I don't know if I should get out there and put this out there. What if people project? What if people do this and that? Everyone's going to do that. You know, human beings can be bitchy, and human beings sometimes are very angry, and a lot of people project. You know what I mean? It happens. Doesn't mean you have to take it on. Doesn't mean you have to take it on at all. You know you know your heart. So I feel like you're going to deal with that, and those feelings of like, oh my God, what if? You're going to deal with it. I feel like that's where you're going to jump out. You're going to stretch that jumper, you know what I mean, that knitted jumper, that sweater or whatever it is. You're going to stretch it out, so you're going to really assert yourself, really get that out there. And I feel like the more you do it, I feel like you're going to evolve and grow, if that makes sense. I love how that sneaky little shame part was hiding. That was like running away from me. I don't know if you've seen on Super Mario, when you play Super Mario, there's those little mushroom things and they walk. That's what it looked like it was doing. It was like walking away from me. I'm like, shame, come here. We need to talk. It was like walking away in the energy, like nope. I was like, get here. It's funny, but yeah, that's what I was being shown with that card. I love when that happens sometimes. Mermaid, embrace change, transformation, adaptability. That's what you've been doing. I feel like you've been expanding, and I think you understand the point of like expanding, and it has to be as within, so without. There's no cutting corners. I feel like you're aware of that, and I feel like that's what's been happening, to be honest with you. And with high tide, energy is rising, emotions are escalating. I do feel like there are feelings, heightened feelings, that you are going to push out, that you're going to transmute. And remember, if you feel stagnant, or you're struggling with the anger part, I feel like anything where you're in your physical body, you know, in the gym, just running on the treadmill or whatever, listening to music, I feel like that's something that would really help you guys move that energy around. But remember, when the anger bit comes out, if you still feel stagnant, remember that shame was trying to hide. You know what I mean? The shame and the guilt. It was guilt as well, trying to hide. So make sure you feel into that, if you feel a bit stagnant, because I don't know, I might try and hide. But yeah, pile number 3, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. So you guys chose the clear quartz. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we'll move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. What is next on pile number 4's spiritual journey? What is next on pile number 4's spiritual journey? We have the High Priestess. What is next on pile number 4's spiritual journey, please? 4 of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. What is next on pile number 4's spiritual journey? We have the 7 of Pentacles. the back of the deck, you have the 5 of Pentacles. I just got a burst of energy where I was like, oh my God, like, I felt like, okay, you know when you've always wanted something in your life and then it finally happens and you're like, oh my God, it's actually happening. It's actually here. Like, I did it. Oh my God, I actually did it. Oh my God. And that's what I'm feeling. Okay. And especially with the High Priestess going into the 4 of Wands, it's like, now I'm putting my money where my mouth is, sort of thing, right? So maybe some of you guys have been clearing for some time. Maybe you guys have been really connected to spirit for some time. Maybe you've been doing shadow work. Maybe you guys have been clearing the not the woodworks, what's it called? Oh my God, what is the word? Weeds. We're clearing the weeds of the garden, right? And you've even been planting the seeds. The garden's about to bloom. Like, the garden's going to bloom, and you're the ones that are going to make the garden bloom. Like, it's in your hands. Like, I'm being shown somebody passing you the relay, like the relay bar thing, like, it's in your hand. You're doing this. So I almost feel like I've been learning, and now I'm out here doing it. So similar to pile number 2, it's like I'm learning, but now I felt like they were going into like a teaching mode or helping people or whatever it was. Yours is like, I've been learning. Now I'm about to get what's mine. Like, now I'm actually going to get that certificate. Now I'm actually going to get it come in. Now, you guys, whether it's like a manifestation you did back in the day, and you guys since then have gone on like a 360, maybe gone on a journey, spiritual awakening, you've been clearing whatever was stopping that manifestation from coming in. I feel like things are now in my hands. I feel like things are now literally being placed in my hands. I feel like I'm now starting to see a result. I feel like the cake has been baked, cooled down, and now we're finally eating it. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm living. I feel like life is getting faster when I'm being shown, because I read energy, right? So when I'm being shown something getting faster and accelerating, it's like I'm living in the moment. You know when you're enjoying yourself and like it's like summer holidays and they come back like really quickly when you're in school, because it's like you're enjoying yourself, you're out, you know, playing or whatever, for those of you that would go out and play, sort of thing. But you know when you're busy, time flies. It's because you're in the moment. It's like physically happening. There's lots going on. That's what I'm being shown. Like, and I'm very aware of my hands. I'm talking with my hands. I feel very in the physical. Where there was lack, it's now coming in, and I'm doing it. Like, I literally feel like I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm being shown things that like you wouldn't even have thought of, or things that you loved like way back in the day, even maybe when you were a child. And it's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start painting. I'm gonna start horse riding. I'm gonna start gardening, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get to the gym. Like, all these things that I almost felt like I was waiting to do. Like, when is this manifestation going to come in? When is this going to come in? It's like, I'm bringing it in. There's like a click. And then it's like, I'm doing it. I'm physically doing it. I'm booking that vacation. I'm traveling to Japan. Like, and it's like, I see you guys like, oh my God, like, this was just a thought and I'm doing it. But it's you doing it. And I need to emphasize that it's you doing it. You were the ones that did the clearing. You were the ones that went maybe into contemplation. You were the ones that put things to bed. You were the ones that, you know, sharpened the tools and used them. You were the ones that did that. The same way you are the ones that are going to, you know, get yourself whatever it is that you wanted to bring in, that career, the body, the vacation you want, the trip that you wanted to do, whatever it is, you're the ones doing it. There's this feeling of like, oh my God, I'm doing it. It's me, like I'm doing it. There's this feeling of gratitude that I see in this next era. So it's not so much it's part of the spiritual journey, because everything technically is a spiritual journey, but I just feel like I'm eating the feast that I've been making. I'm reaping the rewards. And I feel like there's been moments even in the past where you were like, yeah, right. Like, because I feel like you may have looked at it like, I don't know if this is like, I feel like you've dealt in the past with, like you've expected things to go wrong, or you've expected something to be out of your reach, or you've expected something to like not be for you. Like, people sometimes will get triggered, even in like readings that I'll do, and you know, I'll talk about like, let's just say I'll do a relationship reading, like they'll click on the relationship reading, and then when I'm talking about like a relationship coming in, people will get triggered because it's like, that doesn't exist, that's not going to come in for me, doubt that's going to come in. And it's like, of course we're going to have feelings like that when we've been in pain and we've hurt and we've wept and we haven't seen it before, but we're the ones that can change and transmute that and clear it and open up to the possibilities of something new and be ready for it, you know what I mean, and open up to it. And when we align with something and we open up to it and we're ready, that's when it's then able to flow in, you know what I mean. But sometimes we don't even feel worthy of it, so it's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen for me. But I see that gone, like it's gone from your energy. It's like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, oh my god, I can't believe I did this. But it's because you understand that you're steering the wheel. And before, you didn't understand that you were steering the wheel, but you come back home. It's like a homecoming. You come back home to yourself and it's like, I did this, so now I'm going to get this, or I'm going to purchase this. I don't know if there's something that you've always wanted to like buy. The reason I'm saying that is because I remember watching an interview of like Iggy Azalea, and she was saying that when she felt like she made it, she promised herself she'd buy herself a pair of like, everyone pronounces it differently around the world. In my area, we say Louboutins, but other people say Louboutins or Louboutins. People around me say Louboutins. I've always said, I've even forgotten what I say now because I've said it too many times. Louboutins, Louboutins. That's what I say. But anyway, she said that she'd buy herself a pair of those shoes when she felt like she made it, and she finally felt like she made it and she bought herself a pair, and in her first video she walks in a pair of them, and I think that's one of the first lines in one of her first songs. So that's what I was being shown in my mind's eye, because it's almost like something that I've said that I would do and now I'm gonna do it, or something that I promised myself that I get or I do, like I'm doing it. I feel like something's becoming real and my energy is getting faster, and I feel like, oh my god, I finally did it. Like I always wanted this and now I did it. You know what I mean? And it's something that maybe was denied to you in the past. It was something that maybe you didn't have the money to do. Maybe it was something that it wasn't something you saw in your area or where you grew up or how you grew up. It's like, oh, I don't know if that's for me. And I see you getting it. Like I feel like I'm reaching the goblet and it's like, I've done it. So there's something to celebrate, I feel. But it's like the practice and what you preach in terms of like, I see somebody like training and training and training, and then it's like, I'm finally on the pitch. And now I'm realizing that, like, yes, people guided me here and people taught me whatever, but I'm the one that's going to put this into practice and get there. I'm doing it. It's me. And I see you like I see you running towards something like, okay, it's me, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Running towards something, or putting your money towards something, or headed towards something, or making some sort of shift. You're doing it, and it's like, oh my god, it's finally here. I did it. There's such a focus on me, like I did it. I turned this 5 of Pentacles into the 7 of Pentacles. I did it. There's like a celebration of like, oh my god, I was the one. I was the key. This feels like pile number 1 in the future. This does. Pile number 4 feels like pile number 1 in the future. So if you were drawn to 2, if you watch pile number 1 and then you came here, I feel like that's the next cycle, because pile number 1, it was like a shift and then you're in an energy. So there's 2 energies in pile 1, so this could be the other part. I feel like, wow, I did it. I steered myself here, like I did it. I did it. Me. Like I won, or I got there, or I passed, or I bought it, you know, I got that car, I got that home. But there was something that needed to be cleared before you were able to really see that you could have it. I feel like if I was to have told you this a year or 2 or 3 years ago, you would have felt like, nah, that's not, like, yeah, okay, I get told this all the time, it's coming in, but I don't see it, I don't know. Like, that would have maybe even triggered you, or you would have been in denial. Whereas in this energy, I feel very open, like, yep, I'm doing it. It's me. There's something you're going to be celebrating soon. We have a lighthouse. When the seas are rough, search for the light. There's also a piece of you coming back to you. In terms of, I'm going to cover this up. I don't know if YouTube will care for me to cover it, but just in case. There's something coming back to you. Like a version of you coming back that maybe you had to let go of. That is going to help you get here too. Or is going to play a part in you, which you, like, there's a time period that you may reminisce over in terms of like where you let go of a version of yourself that I feel like is going to come back around and help you get here. The only way I can describe the energy of that, I'm being shown the sun. So it could be your inner child, or like a version of you when you were like feeling really confident and, you know, I'm gonna reach this goal or whatever it is, like you were feeling really excited and like open in that way. There's a version of you connected to that. It's something to do with the sun that I'm being shown. That would resonate, I'm being told. So either to do with like a version of you that was very confident and like, yeah, I'm a bad bee, I'm gonna get, you know, whatever it is I need to bring in. Doesn't matter the gender, I'm just saying, you know, the bad bee thing. But like it could also be inner child of like expansive, seeing the world, you know, anything can happen. Could be that as well. But there's a version of you coming back, because I feel like I've got a version of me with me, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a part of you coming back to help you. It's like I feel whole. That's how I feel. So that's what I'm being shown there. Why? I always say that wrong. Poison. I hope I've said that right. Emotions are intense. Be cautious of how you treat others. Okay. Why do we have that card? Please, spirit guides. Why do we have that card? Why do we have that card? I'm hearing it's a celebration every time we link up. Who said that? Nicki Minaj. Moment for life. Be cautious of how you treat others. Why has that come through? I feel like I'm, I don't know why, the way that's coming through, I feel like I'm at a club and it's like my birthday and I'm like choosing who comes into the club. I don't know why that's the vision that I'm being shown with that card. People may, you're already, I feel, in your energy kind of shining, and I feel like it's going to get brighter. There's things that I see you celebrating. I feel like you're going to be out here. You might even be seen a lot. Could be on social media a lot. People may try and come back in the club. People may try and come back that might have contributed to you feeling like the Five of Pentacles in the past. So just make sure you have boundaries. Make sure you have boundaries. But there's a feeling as well of, when I say don't become what hurt you, what I mean by that is, help me feel the feeling that I'm getting. Like I see a lot of love and I see a lot of abundance, and I'm connected to like the sun energy, but it's almost like remember the roots though. Like remember how hard you fought to get yourself here, or remember, I feel like I'm remembering like a version of me that was like really clearing and working through things, and I feel like I'm understanding like compassion and other people like going through things. So it's like remember that in terms of, because I see when you shine, people will target you and people will project onto you. Okay, we're getting somewhere. When we shine, people will project and people will like target you sometimes, and people will try and like pull you down, you know what I mean? So there's a reference to always remember why they're doing it and where they're coming from and how they actually feel. You know that they're going through something. You know that they're feeling something about themselves that is hurting, and that's why they're projecting. So there's a reference to remember that. Because I'm being shown like the empathy and compassion, not in the sense of like letting them get away with it or whatever, like call whatever you want out. You know what I mean? But there's almost like remember that people sometimes get lost in their own sauce. Doesn't mean it's right when they project, but there's something there. So I don't know what that's in aid of. I don't know if you might deal with someone that might project onto you, or it's just, it normally happens when you're shining bright anyway. But there's just a reference to remember that, not take it to heart, but not like push anyone into the ground. And I don't know who that's for. It's not going to be for everyone, but there's something there that I'm being shown. Just keep shining is what I'm being told. Just keep shining. I don't know what that message was for, but that's how it came through. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. We have the Starfish, trust your instincts. And the back of the deck you have the Stingray, be mindful of your surroundings. You have been stepping into your power. I feel like you're aligning with your power, and I feel like that's going to continue. With that power, you now have the ability to be able to protect what it is that you've gained and protect that light within you. You know what I mean? You've learned that ability to be able to do that. And I think that's why the Stingray card is coming out, you know, to really trust your intuition on things, trust, especially with the Starfish as well, trust when you feel like people have ill intentions or they're not stepping towards you with the best, you know, intentions. And again, I was being shown the club, but people may be trying to sneak in. Listen to your intuition there in terms of having boundaries with people and making sure that you protect what it is that you've gained and, you know, what it is that you've created for yourself. That's what I'm being shown here. But I see a lot to celebrate, honestly. I see a lot of light. I see a lot of happiness. Yeah, I feel like you've been on a big cycle. It feels a big cycle, and I feel like you're really aligning with things. But it's not like all this is being gifted to you. You're grabbing it for yourself. You've always been the key. Like, that's kind of like the message. You're always the key. You're grabbing it for yourself. Yeah, so pile number 4, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Very excited for you. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you enjoyed your reading. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.